10 Best is kind of integral to the Car and Driver brand. It sort of defines how Car and Driver views the automotive landscape.
Something that wins a 10 Best award is, obviously one of the 10 best cars of the year.
For Car and Driver, it's really important for us to identify these cars that kind of grab you. A car that really is a standout in one way or another, I think, is what a 10 Best car should be.
I'm Sharon Carty, Editor-in-Chief of Car and Driver, and we're here at 10 Best in Pinckney, Michigan. There's lots of cars, so take some time to just cross some things off your consideration list, and let's narrow it down to the 10 best.
We are out testing and evaluating for 10 Best for 2 weeks.
Obviously, there's like 60 or 70 cars out here.
By the end of 2 weeks, you really have a whole comprehensive idea of what it is that you think those 10 cars or trucks or SUVs should be.
Driving the 10 best cars is kind of like speed dating for autos. I mean, you're in them for like a little loop, and then you get in the next one for a little loop.
So we have a loop that we drive, and it's about a 12-mile loop.
You have some high-speed straights, you have some super bumpy sections.
You can feel the differences in a much more present way.
You're driving them back to back on exactly the same roads, one right after the other.
Track day, yeah, it's always a lot of fun. Any opportunity to get out on a track, you really get to feel the limits of the car.
There's a bunch of different aspects, I think, that show themselves in the tracking portion that don't show up anywhere else.
I think the greatness of 10 Best is the repeatability, the cars that are on the list a long time.
We think that 10 Best does offer a car for everyone.
Hi, I'm Tony Quiroga. I'm Cars Director.
Casey Caldwell, I am the Deputy Testing Director.
Joey Caparella, I'm a Senior Editor in the News Department.
This is Car and Driver's 10 Best.
This is Car and Driver's 10 Best. This is Car and Driver's 10 Best. We making a TikTok here? Cool. That's the best floss I have ever seen. Anyway, this is Car and Driver's 10 Best.
I think we just basically pick every single car that exists. We bring them all here. There's millions of them. It's very difficult to choose.
Not every new car is eligible for a 10 Best award.
Any vehicle that is all new or significantly updated.
We want to have some major changes highlighted.
Interior modifications with meaningful enhancements, powertrain, suspension, chassis.
And it has to be on sale by January, and we have a price cutoff, which is
Under $90,000.
And in addition to that, any vehicle that won 10 Best the year prior is automatically invited to sort of hold up their title.
We try to make sure that the entire range of powertrains are there, and then normally beyond that, your manufacturers want to send the car with all the options because they want to show us what's available.
We have certain criteria that we look for.
The three key pillars that we focus on.
Car and Driver criteria is based, first primarily around price.
Money is always important when it comes to cars. Cars are very expensive.
It's also important that we name things that are a good value.
the challenge is finding cars, under $30,000, $40,000 cars that are spectacular.
We're looking for mission fulfillment.
What is this car supposed to do, right? If it's a mid-size crossover, it should have a roomy second and third row. If it's a sports car, that's a different equation.
How does it fit into its segment? And that can go for anything from performance-oriented to luxury-oriented.
And then we're also looking for fun to drive.
We highly value fun to drive, driving dynamics, and the way that cars make us feel when we drive them.
It's really a culmination of everything that you look for in a vehicle.
I am Dave Vanderwerp, and I am the Director of Testing.
I'm Alana Scher. I'm a Senior Features Editor.
I am Mike Sutton, Senior Online Editor.
Well, my name is Austin Irwin. I'm a Features Editor.
This is Car and Driver's 10 Best.
I'm gonna do one more loop and get out of here. All right. I think it would be a 10 Best winner if maybe the CT5V Blackwing wasn't here.
Wasn't here.
Most of the time, the ones that are the winners jump out to me right away as soon as I drive them.
The decision is pretty tough, considering how many vehicles are available today. And now that there's more EVs coming, that's a whole other level of complexity to that.
For me, it's actually not that hard. I think I've tested almost 100 cars this year. You get to see a lot of this stuff ahead of time.
So I actually end up having a pretty small number to begin with of cars that really jump out at me, and then I kind of have to think about it more and look at the different segments and consider various criteria before I'm able to get to 10.
From 60 to 20 seems like it's no big deal, but from that last 20 to 10 is where the hard part happens.
I just sort of drive them and let everything wash over me. How do they handle? How do they ride? How do they sound? How do they feel inside? Are they nice to be in? What are the interior materials? Let's just see what jumps out at me that makes them good, bad, or ugly, or beautiful, or whatever. And then in the end, I go with my gut. How does it make me feel? In the end, that kind of sways me as much as any of the objective data or any of the other aspects of the car. It comes down to this gut feel for, do I think I'm gonna love this thing if I own it?
My criteria for a 10 best car is typically the best in its segment, but it also has to be a lot of fun to drive. Handling is important, acceleration is important. All those things that make us fall in love with cars are important. But at the same time, it has to be a refined car, a car that you want to sit in and drive every day, a car that you don't regret owning.
I kind of start with the fun to drive, even if you don't care about how fun something is to drive. The characteristics that make it fun to drive kind of trickle into everyday driving and make that car that much better.
As a buyer's guide editor, I'm looking at a lot more out here than just those criteria. I'm looking for cargo space, usability, more practical things that matter more to consumer readers.
One of the things that I really have to think about a lot when I'm testing a car is, could I recommend this to someone who is not me, and would they also like it? So sometimes there are vehicles like the TRX where I'm like, this is a perfect vehicle. Every vehicle should be exactly like this, Every vehicle should be either a supercharged or turbocharged V8, and there's nothing else that matters. But apparently that isn't what everybody wants, so I try to look for things that maybe other people are interested in.
Well, there's certain returning cars that I'm always pretty sure are going to make the list again, and then I drive them, each year, and they kind of reaffirm my commitment to them, like the Honda Accord or the Porsche 718 Boxster and Cayman. Those are kind of the benchmarks in a lot of ways.
My name's Rich Seppos. I am the deputy editor of our Buyer's Guide team.
My name is David Beard, and I'm a technical editor.
I'm Connor Hoffman. I'm an associate editor on the news team.
I'm Drew Dorian. I'm a staff editor.
This is Car and Driver's 10 Best.
This is Car and Driver's 10 Best. Welcome to Car and Driver's 10 Best. Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm at 10 Best.
Yeah, we're almost professional about it.
I was just doing a comparison of the ride difference between the F-150 and this, and how much more comfortable this one turns out to be, because it's got coil spring rear suspension and 5-link rear suspension, and it's like driving on a different road, a much smoother road. And this is a fantastic truck. I mean, it really is the best pickup truck. They got the formula figured out.
And that's why it rides better. A couple of vehicles have surprised me with how spectacular they are. One is the CT5 V Blackwing, because it has this amazing bandwidth. If you want to drive it slow in the city, it's comfortable, it rides well. If you want to drive it fast, it's amazingly fast and capable. It's incredibly capable in the corners. It's an amazing car. And it's so good, I just want to also take it to a racetrack and truly exploit it. It's that good at everything. And I didn't expect that. Even though I read Casey Caldwell's road test, when you experience it for yourself, it's still a surprise at how good it is.
I drove both of the Cadillac. Those are pretty special.
I was reminded also of how brilliant the Corvette is in what it's supposed to do, in its mission. It can be comfortable if you want to drive it cross country, and it's great to drive on a racetrack, and I have driven that one on a racetrack, so that I know firsthand.
I really like the Civic Type R. The one that we have here is very flashy and ridiculous and very fun to drive, and I don't know if it's something that I would want to marry, but I would like to date it for a little while.
That's an impossible question, and I refuse to answer it because there are too many cars. There's like, what mood am I in and what kind of car do I want? If I could only take one, it would have to be a car that does a lot of things well, because I'd need it as a sedan, I'd need it as an everyday driver, I'd need it as a toy, and that eliminates sports cars, but I'm not going there. There's too many good ones and too many cars I'm in love with, and kind of that's why I have this job, so I can sample them all.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not answering that.
To me, it's the TRX. You know, nothing's like that. You know, you get that Hellcat 702 horsepower V8 and that big pickup truck on 35-inch tires, and yeah, if I could daily drive that, I would be a happy person.
Probably the TRX, because it's close to the most irresponsible thing you can drive on the road, and I find that just charming.
My name is Becca Hackett, and I am the road test editor.
I'm Caleb Miller, and I'm the associate news editor.
My name is Max Mortimer. I'm the assistant technical editor.
This is Car and Driver's 10 Best.
This is Car and Driver 10 Best.